Hey everyone, Jamie from Chuckerfly Apparel again. This is part 3 of our general practitioner series. Part 1 just described what we were doing. Part 2, I tied a classic general practitioner right here. Part 3, we are going to modernize the general practitioner. Already lots of modern general practitioner style flies out there. There's some really cool shrimpy intruders out there. Mainly you see them on shanks. I'm going to use go even further, modernize it and put it on a tube. Again, there's other patterns out there that are pretty similar. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks. I like to tie on the cheap. I like to try and find some materials that basically are more modern themselves. Stuff you may use every day. For example, if you've got kids in the summer, make sure you grab yourself some bunch of balloons. They come on a whole bunch of balloons on any of these. I just cut them off when the kids are done, and I've literally got a lifetime supply of tube tie materials. Issue with these is they are a little thicker. I'm going to grab a pink one for today. They are rather stiff at the end, so basically if you just use the tube, you need to have sort of a buffer. You need to have like maybe a trout bead or something like that, which looks really cool on the end. I've got this junction tubing here, and I actually got this off AliExpress. You can get a bunch of it. It takes a while to come, but I'm lucky I've got lots of it, so I usually can tell. So to set my tube up, cut off a small bit here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my tube into thirds, and I'm going to cut it at an angle like that. Just makes it easier to stick it into my junction tubing, like so. If you want to spend a little more money, there's I think it's the Super Pro Fisher Sport stuff, some really great stuff. I'm just going to cut my tube to the length of my thing there. But basically what I can then do is I can put the hook in here. It's held. It's soft plastic. It's not going to rub or abrase my knot. Really good for that. Again, as I explained in part 2 and any other videos you've watched of me tying flies, I love white nano silk or GSP. Again, this is pretty much all I tie with. If I want to add color, I just grab a Sharpie, as I did in part 2. I used my permanent marker and got it on. One issue you can find is it can be quite slippery, so it's sort of hard to get a grip. You can see like that. So what you can do is just get a little bit going on, grab some wax, and it will grab right away. Just a quick, easy tip. It's one of the downfalls of GSP and nano silk is it is quite slippery, but it is a narrow diameter, quite strong. In this fly, I'm going to get into a composite loop at the front. If you tie a lot of composite loops, you need a strong, thin thread to get a sparse, nice, compact loop. Didn't show you the pattern. So this is what we're going to be creating here. This is a little different. I did a composite loop all the way through. For this one, I'm going to make it a little more sparse and also speed up the process. But what you could do is you could do a 3-stage. And then if you look here, that is super shrimpy. That's what the fish is going to see as it swings by. So I've got lots of material in here too. Really going to look good. Awesome. So we've got a tube set up here. I'm just going to do some wraps down it a bit. Just get it all set up. Probably about that long, somewhere around there. If not, I'll clean it up. Back here. So again, with the traditional pattern, we're going to start with a deer hair in the back. Again, I'm going to make it sort of more of a darker pattern. I'm going to try and grab the hairs down at the end. With the classic pattern, I'm a little more careful of trying to be sparse. With this one here, I want these to wrap all the way around. I want it to sort of flare out on here. So I'm just going to hold it loosely. I'm going to pull down, and I'm sort of going to get a wrap on here. Sort of work that hair around the tube. And then tie it in here a bit. With the previous one, I had it all the way to look just to create a bit of a body here, but because the tube's a little thicker, don't think I need don't need to have it as bulky. I got that on there. Just clean it up a bit more here. So, cool thing about a general practitioner is the eyes at the back. In the classic, we used tippet feathers of the golden pheasant head. This one I'm going to use, oh, got stuck on it, some mono eyes. So all these are here are some black beads. I've dipped them in some yellow paint. Let them dry. I do a whole bunch. I do like 10 or 12 at a time here. I let them dry. I've got them sort of on a, you can see them here all drying on a cup right now. And then what I do is I grab my UV and I coat them with the UV and I hit them with the light, and they make some really cool looking eyeballs. Traditional sort of patterns like golden pheasant heads, expensive, or if you got into jungle cock and that sort of thing. Jungle cock is outrageously expensive. I think eyes really look cool on, especially on shrimp patterns. They really help. Not so much on the other ones. I don't think it matters, but this is a cooler and a cheaper way to make a very effective, very looking prawn eye. Looks more realistic than I say think jungle cock or the tippet. So I'm just going to cut them in half. I've got them sort of bowed out, and I'm going to tie them in. Right where I want them. That side. Sure they're lined up. Perfect. Trim the ends. I've got two pairs of scissors here. I try and use my older for cutting wire and stuff like mono, just so I don't dull them down. So far I've got the deer hair, the eyes in place. The next step, just like the traditional pattern, I am going to use a shellback, and there might be better materials out there, but I really like the look of this. So as with the traditional pattern, we are going to use a golden pheasant neck or breast feather. Yeah, that looks super shrimpy. And it's tied in. So the next step, I'm going to break it down in thirds just like I do with a traditional classic pattern. Typically you would lay down some dubbing, or sorry, you tie in a saddle hackle, put the dubbing in, wrap it around, and then tent it over the thing. I'm just going to simplify it. I'm going to go with orange polar chenille. Super sparse. Don't need to use dubbing because this orange is going to, the core there is going to work. Tie it in and wrap it forward. Stroke it back so the fibers are moving back there. But then again, yeah. You can hit this with the dubbing brush as well, get any trapped fibers out. Just a nice, it's a synthetic pattern. I guess you could say we're killing less birds. I don't know, I'm sure the birds are used somehow in other cultures. They're eating them as well as taking the feathers, but some might argue that the stuff's made out of plastic and may not break down. I don't know what's sort of better for the economy, but the stuff's cheap. It's easy. I don't have to strip any feathers. I can do that section a lot faster that way than I could with the classic. So again, I'm just going to split everything here. These are a little easier to work with again than the thing where you get those feelers. And again, I want this golden pheasant shell back to lie straight, so I'm just going to trim it flat there. Perfect. Grab another feather. So I'm just stripping the stuff I don't want off camera here, just in my garbage. Excuse me. Lay that down, tie it in. Perfect. Good. So still got the feelers here. Add some flash. Got it tinted on top. It's good. So I'm going to do one more short section, and then up front I'm going to, instead of the feelers, I'm going to use composite loop. It's going to add sort of some really prawny looking stuff. It's going to be a little longer. Going to look really good here. So again, tie a section of orange polar chenille in. I probably should have made that last section a little shorter, I think. So, but it's all right. We're looking at a bigger pattern anyways. It'll be nice and long. Big tasty shrimp for Steelhead to chomp on. Right there. Tie that off. Trim it off. Pull it back, secure it. Hit it with my brush. Get all those fibers down. Just come in, trim the top, just in case anything's there. Find another cool feather. So I've got another one over here. Yeah, it's a nice one there. Awesome. So the next step's going to take a little longer. Again, on the other pattern, I did it all the way through, and it just took forever. And I figured that this Polish chenille is really going to give it the look, and I'm going to be able to make a nice composite loop here. So I'm going to build the composite loop. It's going to be off camera here, but I'll sort of show you what I'm doing. Basically, I'm going to take some dubbing here. I'm going to break it up. You want all the fibers about the same length. Just keep pulling it like this. It should be pretty good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out like this, and I'm going to lay it down here. And I'm going to build a quick dubbing loop. So what I'm going to do is I put a layer of dubbing down, and then I'm going to add some material. And I'm going to grab these some microfibers. They're going to look really prawny, really shrimpy. And I'm just going to lay them down here, across here, sorry. I should get some more out of here. So I've got a good chunk here, and I'm just going to sort of lay it down, spread it out. You'll see it when I pick it up. Struggling with my materials here, I apologize. Bag stuck to my scissors. There we go. Okay. So basically the idea with a composite loop is it's sort of going to skip a whole bunch of steps. So basically I'm also going to throw some flash in there. What it allows me is instead of doing like 3 different composite loops, adding with, or dubbing loops with material, or tying them in, I'm just building it sort of as one. So some flash in here. You don't want your dubbing loop to be, composite loop to be too packed because it's going to be tough. Little copper flash in there. Not a whole lot, but just going to give it a little extra shine. Goes well with the orange, I think. So I've got some barred sort of material there. Cooper ice dub and some orange flash in there. I've already got a layer of dubbing down. Just going to grab again, pinch of dubbing, not a whole lot. Make it nice and sparse, as sparse as we can. Break it up, and I'm going to lay this down on top, and it's going to be like the Velcro. And just push it down. There's lots of videos out there of composite loops. You can sort of see what I'm doing there. I love these D-loop pliers. You know, the other thing is you could use a clip. So what it's going to allow me is I'm going to pick this all up in one shot here. So you're going to see what I've created here in a second. There it is there. So it's all in. I've got dubbing in the middle, and I've just laid the fibers down across. Got some longer ones here. I'll probably trim those out. Didn't do a great job here, but what's great with this D-loop pliers is I can sort of hold it like this. I can adjust it. Now what I'll do is make a dubbing loop. A couple times here, a couple times around. Sort of closes that loop off. I'm going to wrap up to about there. Nice for the composite loops to have a heavy dubbing spinner. I've got the Loon. OPST makes a great one. There's some other ones out there. Again, with the Nano Silk or GST, especially with the composite loops, you want to hold the material where you want to put it. Got to wax your dubbing here. Try and get a bunch in there. Perfect. So I'm just going to take this here, open up my loop, stick it in. Just want to play it, get everything lined up where I wanted it to. A couple of things got trapped here. With these big dubbing loops too, you're going to lose a lot, so you can sort of see I've got it up like that. Just slide it down. Okay, pinch it, and spin. And it's going to start to spin here. Another spin. What's good about the nano silk is it's super strong. You can really spin it well, get it nice and trapped in there. If you use like a 6/0, just a traditional thread, I find, especially when you pull right there, it breaks. So you can sort of see it there. It's a bit of a mess. I'm going to grab my dubbing brush and really pick a lot of this out. It's then going to be a lot more sparse, a lot more compact. Really start to sort of see it come now. I'm really rough on it. If it comes out, no big deal. That's perfect there. So my next step with it, just to help wrap it, I'm going to, I've always got sort of a thing of water, or you could use your spit, but use it usually quite a bit. It's going to brush it back. It's going to allow me to wrap and fold it easier. There we go. Ready to go. Wrap it forward. As I wrap, I'm going to brush it back. And there we go. Perfect. Got my dubbing loop off. Some security wraps in there. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Grab my dubbing brush again. Just be careful of the GP feathers in there. Don't want to rough them up too much. You want them to sit nice. Just start combing it down again, and then get under and just really sort of reef on it. You want those to go back quite a bit. You want them to look like feelers. Yeah, I like that. It's already nice and flat. There's just a couple I'm going to trim. Then again, we're almost there. Going to find a real nice, real long nice long one there to go on the top. Lay it down. Just struggling to get it to lay flat. It's probably because I've got a little comes down, so I'm just going to build this up just a little bit here. Just use a little bit of dubbing. There we go. Just going to allow it to lay better. That's nice. Here we go. Cut it off. Let's make sure everything's wrapped in nice and tight here. Don't really need to clean it up because I'm going to cover it up with a cone. Also going to hit it with some crazy glue. So I'm ready just to whip finish it. Sort of going to try and get it tight there. If I wasn't going to finish it with crazy glue or something like that, I would probably give another one as well. Let's get some Gorilla crazy glue there. Put it on there. This also helps to keep the cone in place. With these tubes, they're a little thicker, so you really got to look. When I know I'm going to be buying tubes, cones, or sonic discs, I take one of the tubes in my pocket to the store, make sure that they fit. You need some ones with the bigger O-rings. I've got lots of brass cones that I bought that don't fit these tube flies, just because they're a little bigger. But if you get like the Pro Sport Fisher ones, they're a little narrower. These are just dead cheap. That just slides on. Push it back. There you go. Now the next step to finish this off is we're just going to cut the tube and we're going to melt it. So let's take it to there. Sorry, I'm going to grab my my older scissors, just on anything hard. I don't like to dull my good ones. About 1/2 centimeter, a couple millimeters. Hold the material back so you don't know it, and then just sort of kiss the flame against the plastic, and it's just going to roll right back on you. That's also going to keep the perfect. And there you go. Still a general practitioner, just a modern version. Big and bushy. Just going to take it off. Underside of it, real prawny. Look at the rear here. Tell me that doesn't look like a shrimp from behind. Eyes. Lots of flash. This barred material really, really looks cool. Makes it look like feelers. And then to fish it, you just tie your knot directly onto an octopus hook. I like these no barb Gamakatsus. Owner makes a great hook, and OPST makes a great hook. These ones I got, they were on sale. That's why I bought them. Only thing I don't like about them is they're great for stinger hooks on shanks. I don't like it chain. I like them going straight in. So if you can find those, it works better for a tube fly. But these still work fine. So I tie the knot to it and just stick it in. And that's how I'd fish it. Take the fly out. Just going to put it back on my tube here for you to see one more time. Thanks a lot. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned a new few things. The mono eyes are really cool. Using more synthetic patterns in modern tying is sort of what I do to add some flash, make it easier, way quicker. And then the composite loop to really add some cool materials, but sort of do it all at once. When I'm doing a bunch of them, usually I've got the materials all laid out, really faster to do, and I can bang them out really quick. But Makes a really cool pattern. This is going to be great for winter steelhead. As I say, it's a little big and bushy for summer run stuff. I'd go to a smaller pattern. I'd probably use more like a classic fly, or as we are at Chucker Fly, we love to chuck our muddlers. So big on muddlers in the summer, but this is a great winter pattern. Orange, black, purple. You can do even sort of black and pink work really great. It's one of my top summer steel patterns if I'm not chupping. A muddler is sort of a black and then pink pattern, sparse. And either way you go, if you like tying classics, tie the classic. They're great. They'll work well. You can make them a bit bushier as well and still throw them. Low clear water, you might want to use a black or a purple one. But sort of high flows, fresh fish, they're going to chomp on one of these pretty quick. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. Again, please hit the subscribe button. Please check out our website. Grab some Chuckerfly apparel, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, mugs, and thanks for watching.